Have you ever been criticized? Do you think women are more criticized than men? Our group has witnessed situations that women are over criticized and thought this is not fair. Therefore, our group came up with a research question. Do women tend to be more criticized in general than men? For the case study, the first one is a Thai actress Dawanatapon Temirak. She was harshly criticized about her appearance. A great number of people used vulgar words commenting on her posts, whether on Instagram or TikTok. People call her a bitch and slut shaming just because she wears a one piece swimsuit to the beach and also criticize her body, stating that she's too skinny and looks like a sick person. On the contrary, when male celebrities expose their bodies on magazines or the internet, people are screaming, complimenting, and asking for more. The second one, Shwe Jinri, as known as Solly. She was a Korean singer that committed suicide after she had been cyberbullied and verbal assaulted for many years because she was not what other people or society expect her to be. She received tons of slut shaming by posting her images or appearing on social media without wearing bras, but she still wore clothes. Her body parts were covered. The last one is the case of Kulama Sarasat or Khanom Jeen. She shared a photo of herself on Twitter, hashtagging Save Khanom Jeen, that was used to be an example of inappropriate clothing in a book for fifth grade students, and called for her justice, since they used her photo without permission. What Khanom Jeen wore in the photo was not even revealing at all. It was the photo when she debuted as a singer. After that, lots of people come out to show this is unacceptable. Children should not be taught in this way. It's like teaching them to judge the book by only its cover.
The first article, Gender Inequality Identified as an Underlying Cause of Depression in Thai Women. This article was chosen for supporting our research topic. The article provides the perspective from Thai women who suffer from the patriarchy and male-dominant society. Second article, Female Celebrities and the Media. The Gender Denigration of the Ordinary Celebrity. This article adds small examples of how women were suppressed by the media, and how women were perceived as famous but not by their talent, even if they have a skill. These two articles support the idea that women tend to be criticized more than men, and show the example including the opinion of women who are being pressed under this issue.
Methodology. For our research, we used the survey on Google Form and the interview. Firstly, the survey was made with demographic questions and real experience questions to collect answers from anonymous people with various angles of perspective and opinions. There are 114 responses for our form, and almost every answer supports our research. And for the distribution platforms, mostly based on online platforms such as Line, that the form was sent to many chats, Facebook, that the post has Google Form link to fill in the answer, and Instagram, that we share to the stories and attach link in bio. Lastly, our target group is not specific, since we want anyone with any gender or any age to share their experience.
We start the survey from asking our participants demographics, their age, gender, occupation, and religion. We ask people age to see the difference of people's thoughts in each generation or in the same generation. Gender is essential to know since it can be linked to our police personal experience. We will be able to see how our participants in different genders are facing criticism differently or commonly. The occupation was asked. because in some career, there is an existence of patriarchy, such as pilots. Back then, there were only male pilots, but now things are changing. Religion is another factor we have considered to be the cause of women's criticism, since in some Islamic countries like Saudi Arabia, women are prohibited from an abundance of activities and have to be under men's commands.
The reason why we do the personal experience question is we want to get the real information from the responder who facing the situation that we provided. First question, have you ever been criticized or judged? We create this question to gather the number of responders who got criticized or judged. Second question, if yes, in which aspect you have been criticized or judged? We create this question to see what is the main topic that our responder got criticized. Third question, how often are you criticized? We create this question to see how frequently of criticism that our responder have faced. Fourth question, do women tend to be more criticized in general than men? We create this question for getting the perspective from our responder toward our research topic. Fifth question, have you ever witnessed the situation where men and women have the same behavior, but women are more harshly criticized? We create this question for checking the perspective of our responder toward the idea that women tend to be criticized even when they are having the same behavior like men.
Next, the Likert scale. There is the scale of 1 to 5 to measure if the participant accept that women tend to be criticized more in the same action with men in numbers. Lastly, the open-ended questions were put in the end of the survey. The first question aimed to gather the ideas of what caused the criticism in women, and the second question aimed to gain more advice from the participants to make the criticized situation in women better.
Only the responses from the survey was not efficient for the research, so the interview was conducted to get more in-depth. We chose to interview 5 university students. There were male, female, and also LGBT participants. The interview initiates by asking the interviewee about their experience. Have they ever seen gender inequality events, like when males and females are doing the same thing, but women are more harshly criticized? If yes, they need to describe the incidents, following by interrogating their opinions whether women really tend to be more criticized than men, and if yes, what are the causes of that? Lastly, we let the interviewees give some solutions for women's criticism.
Summary of result. First chart, age. Most of the responders are in the range of 15 to 20 years old, while the number of responders aged 21 to 25 is a little bit higher from a quarter. Gender. Over a half of our responders are female, as you can see from the chart. Occupation. As we sending the Google form to the chatting group of Thammasat University students, then our responders are mainly school and university students. Religion. The number of responders who are Buddhist is over a half, as you can see from the chart. Most of our responders have been criticized and judged, as you can see in the chart. The number of responders who got criticized is over a half, and almost a half of our responders have been criticized on their appearance.
How often are you criticized? Most of the respondents got criticized sometimes, like once a week. As you can see in the blue color, it's about 84%. In the red color, it's the people who got criticized often, like 3 to 4 times a week. And there are people who have never got criticized and barely got criticized, as the yellow and orange, respectively. Next, do women tend to be more criticized in general more than men? Only 11% chose no, and the rest agree that women tend to be more criticized in general more than men. Next, have you ever witnessed the situation when men and women have the same behavior, but women are more harshly criticized? Almost all the respondents, or 96% of them, have ever faced this situation. Do you agree when women tend to be criticized more than men regarding the same behavior? This question has the scale from 1 to 5. 1 means strongly disagree, 2 means disagree, 3 means the middle of disagree and agree, 4 means agree, and 5 means strongly agree. As it shows in the graph, the majority chose number 1, or strongly disagree, that women tend to be criticized more than men regarding the same behavior, followed by number 4, or agree, with 8%, and number 2, number 3, and number 5, respectively. Next, the open-ended question results. First, in your opinion, what are the reasons why women tend to be more criticized than men? Next, the open-ended questions results. In your opinion, what are the reasons why women tend to be more criticized than men? Mostly the answers came in the same way, that we have the old traditional in Thailand that made everyone thinks the way it is right now. And the next question, do you have any suggestion for solving criticism towards women? And we chose these two to be the example.
For the interview results, all participants have seen the events where females are more criticized than men for having the same behavior. Most answers were about appearances. Women are criticized when they reveal their bodies. Conversely, men are complimented for doing that. The most obvious case was stated by Pinchat. Miley Cyrus received hate comments and slut shaming for posting her topless video, but having her hands covering her breast, while Ansel Elgort received compliments and praises when he posted a photo of himself naked by having a hand covering his willy. Ansel's post is even more revealing since both upper and lower bodies are exposed. The second most mentioned issue is about love stories. A participant named Napat talked about when Kimberly and Voltemas suddenly broke up with her boyfriend and instantly start a new relationship with Mark Parin Suparat. Kimberly was attacked a lot and was called a cheater, while Mark was not blamed for being Kimberly's love affair. Moving to the next one. Every interviewee agreed that women are actually more criticized than men. It is because the foundation of society. People have been taught since they were young how good women behave. Women have to be polite. Women have to do housework. Women need to dress neatly. This deceptive idea has been passed from generation to generation. And when there are women who don't follow these stereotype norms, they will be criticized. Our participants have pointed out the media representation as one of the causes of women criticism and patriarchy. While male characters usually are the CEO or wealthy people, but female characters are just their secretary or someone below them. Moreover, movies or series like to portray the Casanova as a hot man, while representing women who change many guys as a whore. To solve this problem, people should start to see each other equally. When we see people equally, we will be afraid to criticize. Start educating gender equality to children from the young age. Empower feminism and gender equality. Not only women, but everyone can be feminist. Moreover, the media has to stop sharing male dominance ideas. Use the media to change stereotypes. Everyone is equal. Women can be superheroes. Women can be the boss. These are some interesting quotes from our interviewees. If any girl who don't follow the expectation from men or social norms, they get harshly and stupidly criticized. We should empower gender equality, and we all can be feminism regardless of your gender to equalize equality for every gender. Destroying the root cause of patriarchy sounds too hard, but things can change one step at a time, and many more.
Our research has been facing several obstacles and problems, and these are the limitations that we have been through. First, the limitation of time. As we have limited time, receiving a large number of participants on a survey is quite hard. Second, the limitation of responders. As the number of responders is not matched with our expectation, which should be around 150 responses in order to get the wider information. Third, the limitation of gender. Most of our respondents are female. Then our results can tend to be biased, as we only get the data from one angle and not cover the perspective of male. Fourth, the limitation of age. The largest age of our respondents is around 15 to 20, and it seems that we get the main perspective from this generation, and we feel that the information might be narrow. Fifth, from the survey result, some answer from the responder is not related to our expectation. Like we expect to see the religion factor that can affect to our research topic, but mostly we get only the male dominant issue.
To summarize, the data we have gathered from the survey and the interview mostly support our research. More than 80% of participants agree that women are more criticized than men. The majority of survey respondents are women. Deciding to do the survey and the interview was effective. If we had chosen to do content analysis, we would not garner information from various angles.
For the future research, from the beginning of the research, we found out that our group was having a hard time finding the right resources since there's not much people doing the same angle in this topic, so we have to find the closest one instead. And for the future, we should find a new angle of this topic that have more useful resource. Next, in the future research, we should give the survey to various gender more than this to get more answers in different points of view. The last one is that we have to focus more on what we want to know, specifically, not just ask questions to get many answers. And for the group work in the future, when we know more of each other and understand the main idea together, we can work on any research as a good team. This is the end of our presentation. Thank you for your attention.